Hi guys, I hope you're having a great Saturday. I wanted to jump on today and show you the easiest chicken shawarma recipe I've ever found. Okay, I crave shawarma all the time. My kids love it. And I'll usually make, I'll just cut up chicken. I'll use the bottled sauce that you can buy at the market that's like a marinade for it. And you can marinate it overnight, put it in the fridge or whatever. This is a really simple, super easy chicken shawarma recipe. We don't all have the shawarma machines in our house, right? That we would love to do a stack of shawarma and be able to cut it off with a long knife and everything, but we don't have that. So we have to improvise when we're craving something, and it's super easy. I already started it because I didn't want to stand here and try to do 8 chicken breasts, cut them while you guys are watching. I'm looking around because I'm looking for my gloves. Okay, hold on one second. I have one glove on. I need one more. Okay, you know me, I won't touch the meat. So anyways, I'm gonna put on a glove and I'm gonna show you. For this recipe, we're gonna use chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs. And the reason we're not using a chicken breast is because when you put it in the oven at such a high temperature, we're gonna be cooking this at 475 degrees. And because you're cooking it at such a high temperature, it will dry out really fast. So the outside will be really crispy and the inside will be dry. So you don't want to use chicken breast, you want to use a chicken thigh. And let me also say that this recipe is courtesy of Cardamom and Tea, and I told you I love that blog. The woman that writes is amazing, and she's always sharing these great recipes. So I cooked this last week and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was so delicious, and I make it with yellow rice. You could make sandwiches out of it. You can make a shawarma platter, which is kind of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make some yellow rice and the shawarma, and if they wanna make sandwiches, they can, but the yellow rice will be there with an Iraqi salad. It'll be fantastic. Okay, so you're gonna need 2 pounds of boneless chicken thighs. 2 pounds of boneless chicken thighs. I've already cut up almost all of them. And the key to cutting up the thighs is that you wanna make sure, okay, that you cut them on a 45-degree angle, so like a really sharp knife. And I have the chicken breast. I like to cut up almost all of the fat off the chicken. I don't like any of that stringy fat on it. So I discard it, I cut it off and I discard it. Make sure you have a really good sharp knife. Take your chicken breast, and after you trim all the fat from it, I like to lay it out flat, and I use my fingers and I push down as I cut. So I'm holding the knife kind of on an angle when I cut. I push down on the chicken breast and I cut it on a 45-degree angle so that I get a piece really thin. Okay, that's kind of what you want. Just really thin slices of the chicken breast. So I just cut it very thin on a 45-degree angle, and I think it was like 8 chicken thighs in a 2-pound pack. So you have quite a bit of chicken to make a nice platter for my size family. So there's usually 4 to 6 of us that eat, and that's plenty for us. Now, if you're feeding a lot more, I would suggest you double the recipe. And if you want leftovers, double the recipe, because this is gonna disappear on you. This is such an easy recipe. It's one that I will use over and over and over again. When I first made it, I wasn't really sure if I would like it. I've got to tell you, this stuff is addicting. Like I said, I just made it and I'm making it again because it's so delicious. And we had leftovers last time, very little, and I heated them up the next day. I couldn't shove it in my mouth fast enough. It was like, it was unbelievable, you guys. So, so good. So this is great for a Saturday lunch. Robbie works till 1. He'll be hungry when he gets home, and he'll love this as his lunch. So that's why I'm gonna make it for him and make it ready. And my kids really like it too. All right, so now I cut up that chicken thigh. That's my last one. I'm using the plastic cutting board because these can be sanitized really well. And I'm not gonna cut on the same cutting board as I cut my other stuff on, because that's not good. You don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of that knife and these gloves. Okay, so that's it. Okay, you're gonna cut up your chicken breast just like that, all right? And now I'm gonna set it on the side because it's getting very hot over here on the stove because I'm preheating that oven to the 475 degrees. So to this chicken, you are going to add a few things. we're gonna chop up 3 cloves of garlic. And you wanna chop them kind of small, okay? 3 cloves of garlic. And we're gonna add that. We're also gonna add some olive oil, some lemon, some baharat spice, and that is it. And we're gonna marinate it for at least minimum of 30 minutes. It's gonna be great. And you're gonna add some salt. I'm gonna have to get my salt out. And I promise you that once you make it, you guys are gonna be making it over and over and over again. Okay. I'm just gonna try to chop that garlic up kind of small because you're gonna put it in that chicken. And when you cook it, you don't want big chunks. You want it to be rather small. And like I make the homemade tortilla, you can serve it with that, with some fresh parsley and tomato and onion with some sumac on it. Yum, guys, terrific. And some samoon, you're gonna be having the best lunch ever. And you know, if you have a guest, they're gonna be really impressed that you can make chicken shawarma for them so easily without a machine, right? And it tastes just like Gus. It's so good. Okay, so I chopped up the garlic kind of fine. Here goes my ovens all preheated. I'm gonna throw the garlic in with the chicken, just like that. Now we're gonna add our lemon juice, fresh lemon. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon. Again, I'm not fancy here in my kitchen. I don't have a lemon squeezer. I know it probably costs like $3. I just haven't gotten one yet. So anyways, we're doing it the old-fashioned way to catch the seeds. 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon. And I missed 1 seed, got in there, okay. 2 tablespoons of that fresh lemon. That's gonna bring out the flavor so much for you, okay. You need that acid in there with the chicken. Another one, that's about 2 tablespoons. You could probably add a little bit more if you wanted, but not much more. Get all that in there. And I always keep like a little garbage thing right next to me here in the sink. And now we're gonna add a teaspoon and a half of salt. Teaspoon and a half of salt. I also have my little trusty pot, because you know that's my favorite pot to make rizza in. It's so good. All right, a teaspoon and a half of regular table salt. I'll just kind of measure half there. That's good. And we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Super easy, right? You can whip this up really quick. If I wasn't doing a video, I'd probably already be done with it. It'd be marinating. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you're gonna need your olive oil again because you're gonna grease your cookie sheet with it, all right? So 2 tablespoons of that. And now we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of the baharat spice, okay? Now this, let me show you this. This is, there's the price sticker thing blocking the name, so let me take that off. I think I paid $5 for this thing, or $4 or something. This is the one I use right here. Any Arabic market. This is the Baharat Gus spice. It's just a mixture of like 7 spices and all that. It's nothing too special, but it makes it taste so good. If I can get the thing open. See on here it says it's nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, cardamom, red pepper, black pepper, cumin, and seasoned salt. So if you don't have this, you could make your own. Okay, it smells amazing. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of this right there to the chicken, just like that. And now, we need some gloves again. I'm gonna use 1 glove. I am running low on gloves, which is not good. I have to go get some more. Okay, now, let me repeat what's in here. We've got 2 pounds of chicken thighs cut very thin on a 45-degree angle, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon and a half of salt, and 2 tablespoons of the baharat spice, and I have 3 cloves of chopped garlic in there. Now you're just gonna take it and mix all that together. And just make sure the chicken is well coated. You could do this in a Ziploc bag and kind of mush it around and leave it in the Ziploc. I find this to be much easier, to be honest with you. Just to do it in the bowl and mix it with my hand, because then I know it's getting every little bit of that chicken covered in that spice. So what you're gonna do is, while this is marinating, you gotta leave this for at least 30 minutes. Probably an hour at the most is all you would need to leave it. Like, you know, 30 minutes is good, hours probably better. I did it for 30, it was fine, it was very flavorful. But while this is marinating, you're gonna make your yellow rice. And how easy is yellow rice to make? Come on. Now, you can make yellow rice, you could use saffron and turmeric to make it, or you can use just the powdered coloring. That's what I do because it's easy, right? It's all about keeping it simple. Okay, so here we go. It's nice and mixed in. Let me show you. That's my chicken. It's all mixed in. It's so fragrant. Give it one more little stir there. Okay, and while I have this hand dirty, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull my cookie sheet over, all right? And I'm going to, I don't wanna touch anything with that chicken hand. And now I'm gonna take some olive oil and I'm just gonna go on my cookie sheet here, about maybe a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm gonna spread it all over. This is gonna help your chicken get nice and crispy, and it's gonna help it not stick to the pan. I just put some aluminum down to keep my pan clean. Okay, so now the pan's all set for when that chicken's done marinating. But yeah, we are done with the gloves, okay? And I'm just gonna stick this in the fridge and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes, okay? Just stick it in there, leave it for 30 minutes. Now, I'm gonna get ready to make my yellow rice. And I've already done 3 cups of rice here. I've already washed it. It's been setting, it's all like fairly dry. It's been sitting for a little bit while I cut the chicken. And I'm gonna go get the other stuff for it, and I'll be right back to show you how to do the yellow rice. Okay, so now we're on to the next step, and that's the yellow rice. It's super simple, you guys, and you will have the nicest, most fluffiest rice ever, okay? Again, with my trusty little pot, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 3 cups of rizza. I use the basmati. I think that one's the royal basmati. Sometimes I'll use that elephant one. It's just whatever I get. Now I'm just gonna take some vegetable oil and put it in the bottom of the pot. I'm gonna coat it pretty good. Maybe about a 1/4 cup of veggie oil in the bottom of that pot right there. I'm gonna grab my lid and I'm gonna turn it on to like a medium-high heat, and I'm gonna give the oil a second. This is how I make my rice, and so many people have asked me, and it turns out fantastic every single time. So I'm gonna let the rice get a little bit hot. You're gonna need, okay, if you're gonna do it with the turmeric and everything, then you'll need your turmeric and you need saffron and salt. If that's how you make your yellow rice, fine, go for it. I do it the easy way, and I use this coloring here. I hope that the camera will pick up the label okay for you. It's a powdered food coloring. It does have saffron in it. It kind of looks like that. A little bit goes a very long way, so you don't need a lot. I'm gonna get a spoon ready, and I can hear the oil, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of the rice in to see if I get that sound I want. Yep, okay, so now I can go ahead, now that the oil's hot, I go ahead and dump my rice in, like that. All right, and I always get a thing of water right away. I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use 4 cups of water. I have 2 cups right away ready. I'm gonna give this a stir. Actually, I misspoke. We're gonna use 5 cups of water, not 4, 5 cups. So 3 cups of rice, 5 cups of water, okay? 3 cups of rice, 5 cups of water. Now I'm leaving this rice in the oil and just kind of giving it a stir to coat all of the rice. I'm gonna take my salt, give it a really good shake. I don't even know how much salt that is. You saw it's just a few shakes. I don't measure the salt for the rice. Maybe I should one day. That's probably the day I'll screw it up, is when I start measuring. Okay, so mix in my salt, and now the food coloring. I probably use like a 1/2 teaspoon of the food coloring. Just like that. And watch your hands, because if you get it on there, it's gonna stain your hands. Dump that in there, give it a stir, and it's already turning this magnificent, beautiful yellow color. And I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. If you have leftover rizza, here's a clue. You can freeze it in a Ziploc for a few days, and then you can make the, is it kubab halab? You can make that with the leftover rice, and they turn out so pretty. Maybe I'll make that next. All right, so now I've stirred in the food coloring and the salt. I'm gonna add my water. So here's 2 cups. We're gonna add 3 more. Okay, 3 more. 2, and 1 more cup. Yeah, that's it. You don't want too much water because then it's gonna become really mushy. All right, so 3 cups of Rizza, 5 cups of water. I'm gonna give it a stir and get all that beautiful color mixed up. It's beautiful, it's golden yellow. Now this is what I do with my rice. I'm gonna put the lid on, okay? And this pot has the nice vented lid. I just put that lid on there. I don't know, I mean, I think it will cook the same regardless, but I put the vented lid, I turn it down to like medium. I leave it alone. I'll go check it in like maybe 5-10 minutes and see if the water evaporated, and I can stir it. If all the water is gone out of the pot, I turn it off, I leave it covered. I just let it finish cooking with the lid on it, where the steam's gonna finish cooking it, because the water's already absorbed, and I just leave it. And then I'll go back and check it and it's fully cooked, and I just fluff it around with a spoon, and it turns out excellent every single time. So that's it. So now our rice is cooking, our meat is marinating. I will come back and I will show you. All I'm gonna do with the meat is spread it really thin on that cookie sheet. I'm gonna stick it in that oven at 475 degrees, and I'll come back and show you. And you almost have chicken shawarma done for lunch. Okay, you guys, it's been about 30 minutes since I've left the meat in the fridge to marinate. So I pulled it out and I put it on my cookie sheet, and I put it in a thin layer. You want to put it in a very thin layer on your oiled cookie sheet. You're going to stick that in the oven at 475 degrees for about 30 minutes until it is crispy on the outside. Now at the 15-minute mark, you're going to want to go in and kind of give it a stir and stick it back in the oven for the last 15 minutes, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the oven. You want to make sure you have it spread as thin as possible on the cookie sheet so that all of it gets crispy. You don't want it layered on top and part to be crispy, and that's the thing with shawarma, that crispiness that we like, right? All right, and then I checked my rice. All the water had evaporated out of it, and it looked amazing, so I just turned off the flame. And let me show you this rice, you guys. Oh man, she's so pretty. Let me show you. All right. Okay, how many of you watched the royal wedding today? I get up early anyway, so for me, it was fine. She was beautiful. She looked elegant and she looked regal, but I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I wasn't a huge fan of the dress. The veil was to die for. Like, I wanna get married again, Robbie, just so I can wear that veil. I loved it. It was so pretty. But her dress, sorry, nothing to write home about, my opinion. Okay, but look at this rice, guys. It's so gorgeous. Look at the color. And it's so fluffy. It's perfect. It's perfect, perfect rice. So I'm just gonna leave it, and I'm gonna put the lid on it. You could do it really fancy. Like, you could put your shawarma on a separate platter with all like the veggies and stuff. And then you could do the pine nuts and the raisins on the rice if you wanted to like really go outrageous, but I'm gonna keep it simple. So I just have a simple platter like this one, and I'm gonna put the rice, and then I'll layer the shawarma on the top of it and serve it with some samoon and my homemade turshi, of course, to die for. This recipe for my turshi is on my YouTube channel. It is so good, you guys. This stuff right here is addicting. It is so, so delicious. I just cut up some tomato, cucumber, a little bit of onion, some parsley, threw a little sumac over it, bam, serve it with it. Fresh samoon, they can make a sandwich or they can eat it separate, whatever they want to do. So, I'll be back in about 30 minutes and I'll show you what the end result looks like. And that's it, that's chicken shawarma. It's so easy, it makes a delicious lunch, especially if you're having company. They'll be so impressed with you. So, I'll be back to show you the end result. All right, you guys, it's been about 35 minutes. I did check the shawarma halfway through, and an interesting thing happened to me this time when I was making it. When I checked it at the 15-minute mark, there was a lot of liquid on the pan with the chicken. That did not happen the first time around. So all I did was I took the pan and I drained off the liquid into the sink just so that it was dry, and I put it back in the oven. I didn't change the temperature or anything. I put it back in the oven, let it finish cooking. So if you check it at the halfway mark and there's a good amount of liquid, make sure you drain it off and then put it back in the oven, okay? So maybe the chicken was a little bit fattier this time. I don't know, but it's been about 35 minutes. We're gonna pull it out. my temperature, it was at 475. Every single time I cook at that temperature in my house, the damn smoke alarms go off. And it's like the dog goes crazy. I have to open every door and window. I don't know why. It's a brand new oven. There's no mess in it to burn off or anything. So I don't know what's going on. All right, let's pull it out. OMG, guys. Wow. This looks, oh, it smells so good, you guys. Wow. Okay, I was impressed the first time I made it. I'm really impressed this time too. Check it out. It looks fantastic. It's got such a nice texture. The aluminum foil is going to make my life a lot easier to clean up. I think we will give it a little taste. It's hot as can be, so let me give it a minute. You guys, gorgeous. Now I'm just going to put the rice on the platter. Oh my God. Yes. That's fantastic. A lot of flavor. Lots of flavor. Be sure that you're mixing that chicken up really good with the spices to make sure everything's coated before you cook it, okay? You don't want a lot of spice on one piece and none on the other. This pot's still pretty hot. All right, so now I'm gonna take my rice. I'm gonna put it in. It's still hot, that's why I need to be careful. See, I just left it and it cooked beautifully, this rice. It's nice and fluffy. And I can save some of it to make something else, right? But you can't keep rice very long because it's not good to do that. All right, here we go. Now, of course, I'm spilling half the rice on my floor. I'm gonna leave a little bit in there. And I'll spread this out. Oh, wow. Make like a little bed for my shawarma. Looking fantastic. I think I'm just gonna use the spatula and I'm gonna spoon that shawarma over the top. You guys, I can't stay out of this. Once I make it, it's like game on. I'm ready to eat. Oh, you can hear it. You can hear how crispy it is, right? It's amazing. Look at this. Put a little bit of parsley on the top to make it look colorful. And then you've got yourself a gorgeous platter of shawarma. I know you guys are gonna make it this weekend because it's too easy not to make, right? We're not gonna leave anything on this tray. We're getting it off. We're gonna get it off. And it's really hot, so be careful. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, wow, guys, beautiful. And let's get a piece of parsley. I'm gonna steal one from my tertiary platter, just to make it look pretty if you're gonna present it on the table, to make it look nice. Check it out. Chicken shawarma with yellow rice. Fantastic, easy, delicious, and I, for one, cannot wait to eat it. So that's chicken shawarma, guys. Super easy. I hope you'll try it. Message me what you think. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday night and enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you next time.